What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. After Electra's rejection, Luna Strips will take advantage in the backroom. After Electra Forrester's rejection, the Bold and the Beautiful reveals that Luna Nozawa will strip Will Spencer down in the backroom and take advantage of him. Thanks to Luna's deception regarding the 180 proof booze that Will's been guzzling, he's already getting intoxicated. Will's only going to get drunker as Luna keeps those spiked drinks coming. Despite Will and Electra's earlier hints that they might sleep together tonight, that is not going to happen. Electra really wants her first time with Will to be lovely and romantic, but it wouldn't be with him so drunk he'll barely remember any of it. Will has been expressing how much he wants Electra, but as he gets drunker, he will only want her more. However, Electra will postpone their special evening to another night and perhaps push Will to go sleep it off. Forrester will acknowledge that she was unable to proceed with her first passionate encounter with Will at this time, because Electra will update her on how the party went. Ivy will fully comprehend why Electra felt the need to postpone their first hot session when she hears about Will's drunken spectacle. Of course, there's one person who'll be eager to take Electra's place when it comes to the steaminess she's craving. They will end up in a backroom at Il Giardino later in the week of August 18th to 22nd, because Luna will attack Will while hiding behind a mask. That will provide Luna with some privacy as she prepares Will for everything she has in store for him by kissing his exposed chest. BNB say Luna will take advantage of Will's inebriated state, so she'll get her wish of being together, even if he won't recall much in the morning. Will's indeed going to wake up totally confused and will have a hard time figuring out exactly what happened the night before. It sounds like Will's only going to remember vague bits and pieces at first, so he won't realize Luna's the one he sizzled with. The Bold and the Beautiful say Will's going to have the worst hangover of his life along with a puzzle to solve, so he'll face some horrible news once things click into place down the road. Will's wild as Luna plots their next move. Will Spencer will go wild, according to the Bold and the Beautiful, as Luna Nozawa plans her next move. There will also be an urgent search conducted by Sheila Sharp, so the action-packed show on Wednesday will feature some exciting events. To begin, Lee Finnegan will continue to lose it over Luna's disappearance, but Sheila might know where she is. Since Sheila gave Luna updates on Will's promotion party, it may not be long until she goes on the hunt for her missing granddaughter there. Luna is indeed lurking at Il Giardino, where she's been serving up extra boozy drinks to Will in disguise. Will is getting more and more drunk by the minute, and is on the verge of spiraling out of control because he had no idea he was getting pours from the 180 proof bottle rather than the vodka he was ordering in his soda. BNB spoilers say Will's behavior will get wilder as the night goes on, so Electra Forrester might notice and suggest he should slow down on the drinks. Of course, Will may argue that he's just having a good time and keep throwing them back anyway. Deacon Sharp will decide that an intervention is needed at some point in the subsequent episodes. We'll see if Will gets cut off by Deacon, as it sounds like he will. As for Sheila, if anyone can recognize Luna in disguise, it's her. However, Sheila may not yet be aware of Luna because she will have a chance to carry out the remainder of her sly plan first. Will's lucky night has been hinted at by Luna, so it makes sense that she wants to get passionate with him. Will's relationship with Electra may be harmed by Luna's use of Will's inebriated behavior, which may leave him looking for another masked beauty to hook up with. That could be the signal for Electra to put on a mask and spend some time with Will soon enough. Then again, this could be a mistaken identity situation if Will's so drunk that he can't tell the difference between masked Electra and masked Luna. Either way, it looks like Will do the deed with Luna before the night's over, so don't miss all the confusing drama that'll bring. According to The Bold and the Beautiful, Luna is about to cause a huge mess and bring bad news to Will's love life. On this particular evening, the Gilded Cage of Il Giardino, which is typically the stage for the carefully orchestrated romance of Los Angeles' elite and whispered business deals, was charged with a more primal, deceptive energy. The air, thick with the scent of garlic, expensive perfume, and celebratory champagne, could not mask the singular, toxic scent of a plan unfolding in the shadows, a plan orchestrated by Luna Nozawa, a young woman whose quiet, often overlooked presence belied a tempest of obsession and desperation. The deeply felt sting of public rejection, which Electra Forrester just delivered, was the impetus for this impending storm. Luna had watched the entire exchange from behind a server's tray and the anonymity of a simple half-face Venetian mask, her heart not breaking but calcifying into a cold resolve weapon. Will Spencer, the man she had a burning desire for, had spoken to Electra in a slur caused by the burgeoning intoxication she had created, but she had seen him gently but firmly turn away. Electra's rejection was not born of malice but of a romantic idealism. She wanted their first time to be a sacred, memorable event, not a sloppy, forgotten fumble in a restaurant's back room. Luna, however, was unable to express this noble sentiment. Luna saw opportunity in Electra's postponement instead of principle, a void she was more than happy to fill, not as herself but as a phantom, a fantasy, a masked seductress who would take advantage of the very vulnerability she had created. Will, meanwhile, was adrift on a sea of spiked soda, unaware that the 180-proof rum Luna was clandestinely pouring was charting his course toward a disastrous shore. The alcohol was both a truth serum and a lie at the same time, amplifying his declared desire for Electra and diminishing the cognitive abilities necessary to realize it. His world was softening at the edges, the sharp details of the party, the clinking glasses, the laughter, the concerned glance from Deacon Sharp behind the bar melding into a pleasant, buzzing hum. His promises to Electra got louder and less coherent in front of everyone, to the point where Electra herself suggested he slow down by gently touching his arm. However, the liquor had already taken control, resulting in a defiant, party boy persona that insisted he was fine, that he was having a good time, and that he was only just getting started. This was precisely the chaotic, uninhibited state Luna needed. Luna moved silently and purposefully through the warm water like a shark as Deacon Sharp began to consider an intervention, his brow furrowed with a bartender's sense of impending doom. She guided the stumbling Will, using his own momentum and blurred vision, away from the crowded main floor and toward the relative silence of a back room used for storage and private meetings, a room that was about to become the stage for a profound violation. Luna's deception entered its most intimate phase in the semi-darkness, illuminated only by a single low-wattage bulb and the sliver of light from beneath the door. The door clicked shut, muffled the party's noise. Here, the mask was no longer just a physical disguise. It became a metaphor for the entire sordid encounter. Will was unable to perceive reality because he had collapsed onto a stack of chairs covered in linen or was heavily leaning against a cold storage shelf. Sensation and confusion swirled around in his world. He saw the masked man approaching as an extension of the hedonistic fantasies of the night, maybe even Electra, who had changed her mind and was playing a game of anonymous passion. He could not see the calculating gleam in Luna's eyes behind the mask, the triumphant set of her jaw. It was not an act of mutual passion as she began to undress him, her fingers working at the buttons on his shirt, but rather a deliberate dismantling of his sartorial and psychological defenses. His exposed chest, pale in the dim light, was not met with the tender, loving caress it might have received from Electra, but with the possessive, hungry kisses of a thief stealing a moment that was never hers to take. Luna was not in a committed relationship. Rather, she was taking advantage of him, methodically and with chilling precision, using his drowsy, pliable state to realize her own twisted fantasy of being together. The base lie of the spiked drinks was layered on top of every touch and kiss. Will's responses, slurred words of desire and clumsy hands that might have fumbled with her costume, were not for Luna Nozawa, the granddaughter that Lee Finnegan was frantically looking for and who Sheila Sharp might already be looking for her own manipulative purposes. They were for the idea of a woman, for the alcohol-fueled illusion that the object of his affection had finally succumbed. Luna, in this moment, erased herself completely, becoming a nameless, faceless vessel for her own gratification and his unknowing participation. She was writing a memory that he would never fully understand, making sure that he was absent, a passenger in his own body, even during the act. The wild behavior that was promised by spoilers was not the passionate abandon of a consenting encounter. Rather, it was the loss of control of a man who was stripped of his agency. His judgment was chemically erased, and his body was used as a prop in a play that he had no idea was being performed. The privacy of the back room, which Luna had cunningly secured, served not to protect a beautiful, shared secret, but to conceal a crime of the heart, a betrayal that would leave a stain far more persistent than any spill from the 180-proof bottle. As the night reached its inevitable, grim conclusion, Will Spencer crossed a threshold he never intended to cross, guided by a hand he did not recognize. The deed was done in a haze of pure alcohol-induced oblivion, a physical event utterly divorced from emotional intent or conscious memory. It was a victory for Luna, the culmination of her sly plan, and a checkmark on a list of desperate desires. Even though the togetherness was a grotesque parody of intimacy, she had been with Will Spencer.